welcome into another special episode of Mike Chuck. This is season 3, episode 9. We have the man Ron Higdon with us this week. Ron, thanks for joining us. This is our once a year get together about the state of wrestling in Nebraska, if you will, because state tournaments and districts and stuff are coming up, and we always grab you about this time. So thanks for your time. I appreciate your time with us and sitting down and talking to us.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
He just got done chopping a bunch of wood too, so he's got a little bit of a sweat. He was breathing a little heavy when we got him on the stream.
Yeah, I've seen Ron Higdon mad, Chuck, and I don't know if that's the guy you want to get mad at. So I would cool it a little bit.
Fair.
Yeah. All right, Ron. So my first question is, what changes are in store for either duels or the individual state tournament?
Well, I mean, I think
outside of the girls' individual, that's the biggest one, right?
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how excited we are to be able to provide that for the girls at a fantastic venue. The willingness of CHI to give us that week is I didn't even think was in the cards. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. We pre-sold a great number of all-session tickets, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. Anytime you get the girls and their fans together, the decibel level rises significantly. So it's going to be exciting. We're excited to be able to provide that for the girls. And that's obviously the major change that we have moving into this year. But there are some little things that presentation stuff that we're going to do that's going to be pretty cool. One of them I think is probably the highlight for me is we have 2 different exhibition matches that are going to be with a couple of kids in a unified setting where they're going to have some opponents. We'll wrestle those matches prior to the start of the semifinals, and it's going to be exciting. I think that the crowd is going to be in it. We want to be inclusive and give opportunities to these kinds of young kids and make it special for them. So I'm really excited about being able to provide that as well.
You always have this little nugget that you just kind of throw in there.
Casually drop in.
Yeah, there's always a little, there's always the surprise when it comes to state wrestling tournament.
I think one of my vision, for lack of a better word, is I want to make people want to be there. They want to be there. They don't want to watch it on streaming. They don't want to watch it on TV for the finals. They want to be there. They want to experience because it's happening. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's one of the things that maybe I have a knack for with wrestling, and wrestling itself kind of lends to that anyway. And I just kind of take advantage of it and make it for probably 95% of these kids. It'll be the coolest thing that they do in their athletic career, and that I take pride in that, and that's really exciting for me. And I still love it, as long as I still love it, and as long as I still have a passion to make things better. I'm always trying to do better than I did previously. So with that in mind, I can't give you all the details, but I do think that you're going to enjoy it.
This dude. Always something, man. Always something.
I was gonna try to get the extra ones out of him, but I know I can't.
You can try it,
Coach. No, he's gonna break my other leg. You already said it. Coach, have tickets gone on sale yet? I know I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, is this a real email that I just got from Ticketmaster? Are these real tickets that I see here online?" Do you want to just shed a little bit on that so people aren't, getting the runaround?
Absolutely. It's a great topic. I think it's great. Tickets actually went on sale today to the general public. We take our ticket request forms from our schools, and we really try to take care of our schools first. I think that that's our priority as an organization. So taking care of our schools and their families and their fans is really what our focus is. Not that we don't want the casual fan or the people that maybe not to be associated with schools, not that we don't want them, but we want to take care of our constituency, our membership first. And once that was done, the girls, just, looking at the numbers, even today, we're selling probably 4,000 per, which exceeded my expectations, 4,000 per session, which
Wow.
over 12,000 tickets for the girls' championships, which is amazing. And then on the boys' side, because we took the girls and gave them their own sessions, we didn't have the stress and anxiety that
last year,
the craziness that we had last year, and we were able to fulfill all of the requests of our boys' schools. And that being said, session 5 and 6, there's limited number of seats after we fulfill those requests. So we felt like the best thing to do was to keep those in-house and make those available for sale at the box office only on the day of that session. And that way third-party vendors can't get and buy, because as soon as we open it up to the public and they see how popular it is, they gobble up a bunch of tickets and sell a $10 ticket for $200, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
We want to make those tickets available for our fans at a reasonable price. And if anybody is paying more than the $10 ticket in a resale situation, that's not associated with the NSAA. That's not associated with CHI. And we discourage them from buying those, because at the end of the day, if they have those tickets, if they've got their hands on those tickets and they're trying to sell them, we want them to eat it. Just eat that ticket, and then we'll resell that as a standing room only ticket, and you can go sit in the seat anyway. Mm-hmm. So that being said, we had several, even last year, as many as big as the demand was last year, we still could have sold almost 2,000 tickets for the semifinals. We still could have sold almost 4,000 tickets for the finals because we add all those additional seats. So we have yet to turn anybody away. So I think that there was a large portion of people that thought that they couldn't get in the venue, and that's never been the case. We've always found a way to get people in, and we're excited to be able to provide that, and excited for the ticket sales now. I mean, we've sold over 52,000 tickets for the boys session. So, I mean, it's phenomenal what we're able to do.
That's a lot of tickets.
If you look at it per capita, the state of Nebraska, for our population base and what we do, I would venture to say we're probably in the top 5, and we might be number 1 per capita for the interest and what we do for ticket sales with regard to our wrestling.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Those numbers are phenomenal.
Insane.
Yeah. While we're on the ticket thing, has splitting the girls to their own, you said that relieves some stress, but has it also kind of opened up a lot more tickets for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Yeah,
absolutely. 100%. I mean, when we did the request last year, we had 4,500 more requests than we had seats to sell. Wow. So right there tells you that we alleviated some of the panic, and that's exactly what it was last year. And even a little bit of this year, there's some people over purchasing because they're afraid they're not going to get what they are asking for. So not that I like that, but I think that it'll ease off after this year a little bit, and they won't be as panicked to buy them as they have in the past over the last 2 years. So that's a great topic to talk about. And I love the opportunity to share information with people, because once we tell them the process and the thoughts behind the decision-making, they are almost always like, that makes sense. I understand, and thank you. So it's the misinformation, it's the speculation and the rumors that get thrown around about from people that really don't know the details, that creates the panic and the anger and the craziness that happened last year. So I'm thankful. We sent those tickets out to the schools 2 weeks ago, so they all have their tickets already, and we opened those other tickets up for sale today, and I think it was a pretty good day at the box office again. So if you want to go, get your ticket and you can go. But remember, you can always come to the ticket window and purchase a ticket to get in the facility. And if you go to the ticket window to purchase those tickets, you avoid the Ticketmaster fees that are just a part of the game. The Ticketmaster fees are $4.25 per ticket, and then a processing fee per order. Like if you bought one ticket, a $10 ticket would end up costing you like $18. So but that's the nature of the business. That's how
Right.
they are in business, and that's what they are. They're their fees to take care of the convenience of it being online. But remember, the box office is always open, and we have yet to stop selling tickets to our sessions.
You brought up, I'm going to change topics. You brought up, you always have a vision for the state wrestling tournament. You clearly, I think anyone that knows you and your history are a visionary when it comes to wrestling and events, right? Especially the events side. But even just from your coaching days, all the ideas you have, you've been a visionary forever.
I'm a thief. I steal these ideas. I don't really just come up with them. I steal them.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone does, but you have to execute it, and there's some vision and process in that. How do you stay so far, ahead of the game? Like you just said, you steal the ideas, but you still have to execute those plans. How do you stay so far ahead?
It's interesting that when you have this position and you have the mindset that I was taught by one of the greatest mentors that anybody could have, in Mike Denny, you always are paying attention wherever you're at. When I go to concerts, when I go to other events, I went to the Nebraska duel, and I'm on my phone taking notes about a bunch of stuff, like, oh, I think this. And so that's how I kind of envision, or I see something that's really cool, and I'm like, all right, how can I incorporate that in my stuff? And not just wrestling. I also have softball. I had soccer, and I think that I was able to do some things. It's not my world like wrestling is. Wrestling's always been my world, and I'm able to maybe be a little bit more what you say visionary with that than I am the others. But it's probably an internal challenge that I do to myself, but it's one of the hardest things to do, to be fresh. And my goal from the first year that I got here is to make a visible improvement and betterment of the event every year. So people can say, oh yeah, well, what, like Chuck was asking, like, what's new this year? It makes you want to be there, right? It makes you want to, your curiosity. Like I have a couple of cool things for the semis. You're going to like that. The very first session with girls is going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. So
what are they?
But we have a fantastic facility, and we're going to be able to do some things that we haven't done before. So I'm excited about that.
Well, they got pyro for Creighton men's basketball games and stuff. So I mean, maybe you could get some fire.
I do have a budget that I have to stay within too, because I'll be honest with you. I checked it out. I looked at pyro. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like when you do the finals introductions with the lights off and the smoke, like just get some flames going up right next to
where the out of bounds circle flames up whenever you get close.
Yeah, you can't. You're not getting out of bounds. You can't run away.
WWE once.
I do. There is another change, a format change that is interesting, and it leads back to the last few years. I'm on the NFHS rules committee for high school wrestling rules, and we've made some changes over the last couple of years that are significant. And it started probably 3 or 4 years ago and it took 7 years of submitting proposals to get where we're at right now. The first one that we changed 2 years ago was changing the rest period from a 45-minute rest period to a 30-minute rest period, which has been really, really well received. And it's a long backstory behind that, but we really fought for that, and it has helped our sport. I really believe that it's helped, because if you go to those tournaments and every session you're having to, all right, we're going to take a 15-minute break so we can wait for the 45. I have yet to have, maybe a 2-minute break, wait one mat waiting for 2 minutes before the two guys can go out there and wrestle. So that, along with the rule changes that we made with scoring and out of bounds. Yeah. So the out of bounds changed in a significant way, where only 1 point of contact has to be inbounds for them to continue to wrestle, which changes a ton of things in high school. Yeah. And so what we're doing is we're blowing the whistle less. They're wrestling more in the circle because they can wrestle on the edge, and we're blowing the whistle less so that they come back to the center. And so when you do that, it speeds things up. It speeds matches up, it speeds sessions up, and it speeds tournaments up. And we've seen that, and we anticipate that it's probably between 25 and 30% decrease in time, which is fantastic for the fan. Yeah. The other thing that we did was we changed the rules to kind of match college rules. And when we had the discussion, the people from the NFHS came in and said, we don't have to follow college. We don't have to follow college. That's not what we are. High school sports. And I just raised my hand and I said, all right, let's have that discussion, because you might not think that we do, but really we do, because give me another sport that scores differently in high school than it does in college. Mm-hmm. And we couldn't come up with one. Yeah. So in essence, we have to follow those rules, not just to blindly follow them, but because all the feedback that we got from the NCAA in the college ranks was they were improvements. Mm-hmm. We awarded offensive wrestler. Before, you had takedown, guy got an escape, or you cut him 2-1. Takedown, he got escape 4-2. Takedown, got escape. It's 3-6, 6-3 going into the second period. That guy chooses down, he gets escape. It's 6-4. You've been dominated, and you're in the match 6-4. Yeah. Now you get 3-1, 6-2, 9-3. That's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. We are rewarding offense.
And the matches move along quicker too, to 100%. Be honest. And with that scoring, you can get to that
100%.
Tech falls happen faster and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. So the other thing is, when you talk about the near fall and you talk about you sweat. So I usually, the first time I told grandma about how to score, okay, if they hold them on their back and the referee counts 2, that's 2 points. Okay, that's easy to understand. If he counts 3, that's still 2. If he counts 4, that's still 2. But if he counts 5, that's 3. So go over that again. Exactly. So now you go, all right, if they're on their back for 2 seconds at 2 points, 3 seconds at 3 points, 4 seconds is 4 points. Right. So just like Mike said, we're getting to tech falls faster. We're blowing the whistle less for out of bounds. We're getting to tech falls faster. And that too lends to being, the time decrease that we've had. With that said, we're changing the format of the mat schedule from a 10 mat setup to an 8 mat setup. And we have 8 full mats with 8 full, there's going to be 12 feet between circles. They're going to be able to wrestle on the edge. And with that, we'll be able to blow the whistle again less. And let's be honest, when we're talking about those tech falls, those guys are going to get beat, whether it's a major decision, almost a tech or a tech. Let's be done with it. Yeah. Get them to a tech fall, get them off the mat. Yeah. It is what it is. Tech falls are faster. I've had nothing but I have yet to receive a negative comment about those rule changes. So I think it's going to lend to us hopefully being more efficient with our sessions, even if we go to 4 mats. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, you go to 3 mat tournaments all the time, and you can get a 16 bracket done in one day. We're going to do it over 3. So it's going to be good. Yeah.
And more space on the floor at CHI Health Center. Yay for people like me.
So with that, do you think there's going to be a time where we're going to have to get bigger mats? I know that we have more space, but are we going to have to get bigger mats to allow more wrestling on the edges?
I doubt it. And the reason behind that is high school gyms. High school gyms, we use mats that are used in high school. In high school gyms, but I will tell you that when people are doing new gyms, they're taking wrestling into consideration. That's how much wrestling has grown in Nebraska. When they build new facilities, majority of them say, what does it take to get 3 full mats in there now? Yeah. And so the out of bounds on the end zones for the basketball court is further so that they can accommodate 3 full wrestling mats. And if you see, there's several schools that when they build their facilities, they have that in mind. And that's a testament to, the people in the state and how popular wrestling has become in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah. But touch on girls real quick and just the growth. Obviously, we've seen the numbers and you can look on those numbers. But, one thing that I kind of want to dispel is the growth of wrestling. It hasn't hurt like girls basketball, for example, because I venture to guess 99 out of 100 of those girls that are wrestling were never going to play basketball. So So touch on that real quick. We got a couple minutes here.
Well, girls basketball, if you look at our participation numbers from NSAA, our girls basketball, and not just in Nebraska, but across the nation, have been on a decrease probably for the last 10 years. Right. Well, that was before wrestling was sanctioned.
Right.
But I will tell you, in the state of Nebraska, one thing I'm not dissing on it at all. One thing that really hurts girls basketball is volleyball. Mm-hmm. Volleyball is so stinking popular in the state of Nebraska that it takes those girls, away from basketball. Good basketball players are not playing basketball because they want to play volleyball. And I'm not, like I said, that's not a knock on volleyball. That's a testament to volleyball. In basketball, they're in survival mode. They're going to have to take a hard look at what they're doing and get some leadership and make probably some changes to try to, promote and recruit and get more, females involved in it. But if you look at our numbers and talking about girls wrestling and the growth of girls wrestling, we started our first year, the first year we sanctioned, we had 711 girls. Wow. And then we went to 1263, then 1756, and then 2104. 2134 today. This year's 2134. But if you look, wrestling was on a decline on the boys' side for several years. And the year that we sanctioned girls, we had 4564 on the boys. Then we had 4700, and then we had a little over 5,000, and now we're at almost 5,100 this year. So the increase with girls have helped with the boys. They both increased, fantastically. So those that are saying girls are taken away from boys, girls are helping the boys wrestling. And it's not just in Nebraska, it's a nationwide.
Yeah. Awesome, Ron. Thanks for your time again. And, enjoy that cabin, I guess, tonight. It looks a little woodsy out there for me.
Yeah, thanks. Representing, I appreciate that. Sautter, you have one of those, don't you?
I got a T-shirt. Yeah, I got a Nebraska Omaha wrestling black T-shirt. Yes, I do.
Oh, you only have a T-shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, the black hoodie is cool if, you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like
if you what size?
Probably a large. I'll be at state wrestling.
He'll get a small.
Chuck, I'll break your other knee if you don't stop.
Probably hey guys, I want to thank you for what you do. I mean, what the exposure that you give wrestling is fantastic, and the people that listen to your show. I had somebody call me this year about something that I was talking about last year on your podcast, because I said, if you have these issues, give me a call. And they said, you said give me a call, so I'm giving you a call. So but I appreciate that. That means people listen. People love information, and thank you for giving me the outlet to give that information.
Well, thanks for all you do for all the athletes in Nebraska. So
have a good night, guys.
One last thing here. I know you're going to be an empty nester here soon. You're not going anywhere anytime soon, right?
I love this. I love this part of the job. I do love it. But I'm not going to be here forever. We got to plan for the future away. But I feel like I've had a hand in building something special, and I don't want it to go anywhere but up. So there'll come a time when somebody is my time will be done, and somebody else it's time for them to take the reins and take it to newer heights and do things that I probably wouldn't be able to do. So the time will come. I don't know when that'll be, but right now I love what I do, especially this part of this. It's a passion.
Yeah. Now, you already gave up the soccer thing to spend more time with your family and watch your daughter play softball. So we're good.
That probably extended my time a little bit.
Let's just keep you around for as long as you want to be. All right, man. Thank you very much.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.